As you have already learned from previous lessons, breathing allows the body to inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. We breathe through our mouth and nose. The oxygen from the air we breathe travels down to our lungs. The lungs exchange oxygen with carbon dioxide that we breathe out. The air we breathe might contain substances that are harmful to our body. In this unit, you are going to learn the importance of keeping our respiratory system healthy. At the end of this unit, you should be able to answer the following questions. What are some of the substances that can harm your respiratory system? What are the effects of pollutants on the respiratory system? What are the diseases that affect the respiratory system? How can you improve the air quality around you? Have you wondered why you cough when you accidentally inhale smoke? Within a few seconds of breathing in cigarette smoke, irritating gases get into your respiratory system through the eyes, nose and throat. This causes your lungs to produce mucus, which makes you cough. Cigarette smoke contains toxic and carcinogenic or cancer-causing substances. These substances are harmful to the respiratory system. Click on the cigarette smoke to see the substances it contains. Cigarette smoke contains tar, nicotine, and carbon monoxide. What other substances are harmful to your respiratory system? Click on the pictures to find out. Our body has many different systems that work together to help us function properly. Drag and drop the labels to the correct body system. As you have already learned from previous lessons, is the air around you polluted? Have you wondered to your respiratory system? Click on the pictures to find out. Carbon monoxide from the smoke of vehicles. Carbon from open burning. Acid rain. Toxic gases from factories. Carbon from open burning. Chlorofluorocarbon from air conditioning. Substances such as tar, nicotine, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, carbon, chlorofluorocarbon, toxic gases, and dust are harmful to your respiratory system. Let us find out the effects of some of these pollutants to your respiratory system. Click and drag the magnifier to any of the alveoli. Nitrogen dioxide, a common toxic gas, damages the lungs. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin in the red blood cells. This prevents oxygen from combining with hemoglobin to become oxyhemoglobin. Therefore, the body cannot get the oxygen it needs. Tar from cigarette smoke sticks in your alveolus and blocks the transfer of oxygen to your bloodstream. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin in the red blood cells. This prevents oxygen from combining with hemoglobin to become oxyhemoglobin. Nitrogen dioxide, a common toxic gas, carbon monoxide, tar from cigarette smoke sticks in. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin in the red blood cells. This prevents This is how a healthy lung looks like. Let's watch what happens to the lungs when they are exposed to harmful pollutants for a long time. Lung cancer is one of the diseases that can affect your respiratory system. Most lung cancers are tumors of the lungs. There are other diseases that affect your respiratory system. Click on these diseases. Yes, asthma affects your respiratory system. Yes, bronchitis affects your respiratory system. Yes, pneumonia affects your respiratory system. No, dengue affects your blood and kidneys. No, measles affects your blood and causes spots on your skin. No, jaundice affects your kidneys. Harmful substances that are in the air can cause diseases that affect the respiratory system. So, how can you improve the quality of air around you? What precautions can you take to protect your respiratory system? Is the air around you polluted? Let's find out the level of pollution in your school. You will need several pieces of cardboard and some kind of cream such as Vaseline or Vicks. First, spread the cream thinly on the pieces of cardboard. Then, place the pieces of cardboard in various places inside and outside the classroom. For example, on your desk, on top of the cupboard, and at the school field. Leave them in their places for a day. The next day, observe the amount of particles that you can see on the cream that was spread on the pieces of cardboard. Based on your observation, list the substances that can harm your respiratory system. Write down the effects the pollutants may have on your respiratory system. If the cardboard was your lungs, how would you protect it? Fill in your answers in your activity sheet. Smoke emitted from cars and cigarettes release substances that affect our respiratory system. Identify the substance that is produced by each item. Drag and drop the appropriate answers into the spaces provided. Carbon monoxide from cars and nicotine from cigarettes. Identify the diseases that affect the respiratory system. Drag and drop the appropriate answers into the spaces provided. All the diseases listed, except for measles, can affect our respiratory system. Asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, and lung cancer are harmful to our respiratory system. List 2 good habits that can help improve the quality of air around you. Some of the good habits are not smoking, walking or cycling instead of using the car, and not carry out open burning of rubbish. Some of the substances that can harm your respiratory system are tar, nicotine, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, chlorofluorocarbon, carbon, toxic gases, and dust. Pollutants can block the transfer of oxygen to the bloodstream, prevent oxygen from combining with hemoglobin to become oxyhemoglobin, and clog and damage the lungs. Diseases such as lung cancer, bronchitis, asthma, and pneumonia affect the respiratory system. There are many ways you can improve the air around you. Some of the ways are: walk or cycle instead of using the car, do not smoke, and not carry out open burning. Click on the correct answer. Which of the following are harmful to your respiratory system? Tar from cigarette smoke blocks the transfer of oxygen to your bloodstream. Dust and particles from the smog clogs your lungs. Click on the correct answer. Which of the following should you practice to improve the quality of air? That's correct. We should cycle instead of using the car to go to nearby places. Click on the correct answer. Which of the following substances is released mainly from air conditioning systems and refrigerators? That's correct. Chlorofluorocarbon, or CFC, is found in most air conditioning systems and refrigerators. When released in the air, it depletes the ozone layer. Click on one of the questions to see the answer. These are some of the substances that are harmful to the respiratory system: tar, nicotine, and carbon monoxide from cigarette smoke, carbon monoxide from the smoke of vehicles, sulfur monoxide from acid rain, carbon from open burning, chlorofluorocarbon from air conditioners, toxic gases from factories, dust and particles from haze or smog. Tar from cigarette smoke sticks in your alveolus and blocks the transfer of oxygen to your bloodstream. Dust and particles from smog or haze clog your lungs. Carbon monoxide combines with hemoglobin in the red blood cells. This prevents oxygen from combining with hemoglobin to become oxyhemoglobin. Therefore, the body cannot get the oxygen it needs. Nitrogen dioxide, a common toxic gas, damages the lungs. If your respiratory system is exposed to pollutants for long term, you could develop respiratory diseases such as these: bronchitis, pneumonia, asthma, lung cancer. Harmful substances that are in the air can cause diseases that affect the respiratory system. Stop smoking. Walk or cycle to nearby places instead of using the car. Avoid open burning. Imagine that you are a medical officer. Your current tasks are to diagnose and advise the public about the importance of a healthy respiratory system. You are given the files of 3 people whom you are asked to diagnose. Click on each file to read the details in it. What diagnosis are you going to give them? Drag the correct respiratory disease to the files. Then, write down your advice in your activity sheets. Give reasons for your advice and offer suggestions to help improve their health. Air pollution also happens indoors. One of the most dangerous indoor pollutant is radon. Radon is a radioactive gas. It comes from the natural decay of uranium that is found in nearly all soils. It typically moves up through the ground to the air above and into your home through cracks and other holes in the foundation. Your home traps radon inside, where it can build up. Based on the picture, list the ways in which radon can seep into your house. Research on the risk of being exposed to prolonged radon radiation. Then, discuss your findings in the class.